You know, those tentacles look really familiar. Like green monster of the swamp familiar. You know what? You know what? I've been thinking about this long enough, and I simply have to... You know what? I've never done this before. This is going to be my very first impromptu theory midstream. And that's right. I'm doing a theory about these guys, the corrupted puppets. I've kept it waiting long enough. I think, after careful consideration, I have an idea as to what the corrupted puppets might be. Well, there's a chance I'm probably wrong about it, but you know what? I will at least have a theory. I'd at least be happy with a theory that could be wrong or right, rather than nothing really at all explaining these guys. So you know what? Let's kind of dive into the theory. I need to get a visual aid here, so it's kind of clunky, so bear with me. Alright, so Puppet-Devouring Green Hunter. Alright. Okay. No one knows where the green monster of the swamp came from. Some think he was produced from Krot's Wrath. Alright. The green monster. It's classified as a carcass monster, but it can take over the bodies of dead puppets. Interfacing with them, controlling them. From the inside out. Part of me thinks maybe... Okay. Let me look for some collectibles and some letters and stuff. Just bear with me here. And it's not going to be all professional and amazing and put together like a lot of the other theories and lore videos. So just bear with me. Alright, so this was the Sentry's notebook from the swamp about the green monster. Alright, so it's... Puppets aren't used as toys. The Sphinx sucks ergo from scrapped puppets before playing with what's left. It feeds on ergo. Alright. Yep. So the green monster of the swamp was, of course, made by the alchemists. It's a carcass monster born from ergo. Yep. Alright. Now, I'm building to this. So, the ergo that's in the puppets, all of the puppets getting produced in the factory, is supplied by the alchemists. Now, in this factory manager's report, it says that the quality of ergo is getting worse over time, and that the puppets have a high chance of defects. And that the alchemists were doing experiments with the ergo, using another method. I think that maybe with this new ergo experiments created the green monster of the swamp. A monster born from this lower quality ergo. And I think that the green monster was maybe a prototype or something, because I'm pretty sure the alchemists continued their experiments. They went further. Because these tentacles look a lot like but was on the green monster of the swamp. So maybe the corrupted puppets, being classified as carcass monsters, might have been attempts by the alchemists to make more of the green monsters. I'm sure that they knew everything that the green monster was doing in the barren swamp. I'm sure they were keeping tabs on their creation. I'm sure they knew that it could do this to puppets, take over their bodies, and I think they wanted more. I think since Romeo, the king of puppets, was commanding his puppet army to go after both the carcass monsters and the alchemists, I think the green monster of the swamp was something that the alchemists created to maybe level the playing field in their war against Romeo. Think about it. If you can make a carcass monster that can take over the body of a puppet and corrupt it, and make it loyal to you, to some extent, then you'd have a way to turn the puppets against their king and attack them. Because the corrupted puppets will fight regular puppets. And just like how the regular puppets will fight carcass monsters. Because Romeo ordered the puppets to defeat the carcass monsters and anything else born of the petrification disease, which was all traced back to the alchemists, because Romeo wants to protect humans. But the alchemists want domination. Romeo's in the way of that, so maybe make something that can take over his puppets and turn them against him, turning the war into favor of the alchemists. And maybe the lower quality ergo that's in the puppets over time will cause carcass monsters like the green monster, little brothers and sisters to it, to be born inside the puppet and take over it, taking off its head and all that, kind of bursting out like a chest burster from Alien. And since these guys showed up after Romeo is dead. Puppets had no leader, nobody to command them. They were all just standing there sobbing and moping. Some of them would still fight you to carry out his last command, but beyond that, they were just moping around. It would be very easy for the alchemists to maybe abduct some of those puppets, experiment on them, and make these corrupted puppets with the tainted ergo. Why else do we see these guys later on the Isle of the Alchemists cooperating with other complete carcass monsters and alchemists to attack us? So, the alchemists made the corrupted puppets after the green monster of the swamp. They made something that could take over the puppets using tainted ergo that they were making, they had in the puppets. I don't know. I think maybe that theory could have some weight to it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments once you see this. Do you think that maybe my theory about the corrupted puppets being successors to the green monster of the swamp being developed for the same means might be a workable theory? Like, maybe the alchemists wanted the puppets on their side, so they made them corrupted using tainted lower quality ergo they were producing that spawns monsters inside the puppets similar to the green monster to take them over from the inside and fight alongside other carcass monsters as well as the alchemists. Or this could be something else. I mean, this is the best theory I can come up with, and I'm sorry it's kind of a little impromptu and not very fluid, but this is the best I can do. Anyway, let's continue onward. I just really had to drop that kind of theory, because it might actually have some weight to it. It's the only thing I can think of. I've been thinking about it for a bit.